Hi crafty friends, I hope you're having a good day. I hope you've all had a great Christmas season, and whether or not you celebrate Christmas, I hope you've been able to find some time to relax and renew and rejuvenate. And for me that means spending some time in the craft room because I don't get a lot of time in the craft room anymore. Anyway, we'll chat about that another time, or maybe not. Today I felt like making some cards. I've been doing a lot of memory keeping and I wanted to make some cards today. And I absolutely love this DSP, which is a True Blue Florals 12 by 12. It's a product of the month for December with Stamping Up. If you want to know all about the product of the month, head on over to my online store, which is in the description, and I'll also put a little blurb about the product of the month. But basically, if you spend Australian 65, might be $65, I can't remember offhand. No, it's 125. Sorry friends, I'm leading you astray there. If you spend Australian $125 in my online store, you get to purchase this for just $9, and that's great value. So it's a beautiful DSP. It has such lovely florals, and I particularly like this one, and as you can see, I've been chopping that out to fussy cut and make and use those as flowers. I'll just quickly, oops, oh dear, sorry about that friends, I'm a bit rusty and I'm knocking things all over the place. Okay, so look at this friends, I really like this one too. So I like all of them actually. So this is the other side. This is the base of the card. I'm not sure I can see. There you go. That we're making today. That's gorgeous. I love the blues. I really, really like blue paper. There we go. There's a B side. This one here. It's a little bit of a smaller pattern. That's a gorgeous colour. So yes, I like blues. And there's lots of blues in this. You can mix a lot of things with blues. They go well with metallics. I particularly like mixing blues with pink, which is a bit weird, I know, but that's what I like to do. So we'll use that. We're also going to use a few new products that are available come 1st of January. I don't need that just yet. Not these. We're going to use sequins, which are the, what are these? Pastel adhesive back sequins. I've just dug into my stash for that. We're chopping those up. We're going to use prayers and promises as the sentiment, and this is a really nice one. I love Christian and thoughtful little sentiments, and this is great. So it's all about praying for someone, or letting you know that you're thinking of them, not just necessarily praying for them, but letting you know people that you might love or know of, that you're thinking about them. Also, I'm using the Fragrant Layers dies. Look at this die set, friends. How about the versatility there? So I'm using those. I'm using a die set that I have bought a long time ago, early 20, maybe it was mid-year. Anyway, I haven't used this very often. These are the party banners and dies, and I have been using these a lot lately, and gee, they're pretty good. They're pretty versatile. They make beautiful banners. There's some really big ones right through to really little ones. So we're going to use this size today. So we'll pop that aside, move that out of the way, and then also we are using the beautiful Adorned Ephemera pack. Oh, absolutely love this. This is all gold vellum. So gold on vellum. What could be better, friends? So we're starting with a 4 by 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 card base. You can get those in my online store, or if you like me and you have quite a few from your Close to My Heart days, I'm using those. So I cut out a 4 by 5¼ card base using one of the patterns. So we're going to use 2 of the sheets of paper DSP. We're going to use this today, and we're going to fussy cut the flowers out, and then we're using another card as the card base. This one here. I absolutely love them, and together they work really well. And what did I say about pink and blue? We're matching pink and blue. I don't know why. It's one of my favorite color combinations, and we all reach for our favorite color combinations, don't we? Especially when we're sort of sitting here and doing some mindful crafting. Okay, so I'm going to just adhere this down. I probably should get all the pieces together, but we probably won't do that. So we're doing, it is a while since I've done a video, friends, so I am very rusty. So if you're not clicking off this video and persevering with me, well done. I applaud you and I thank you. I will get better. It's my plan in 2026 to do a lot more videos. So I will stop being so rusty and start being a bit more helpful. Let's keep going with this card base. So we've got the beautiful DSP there. Then we're going to cut this banner. I'm going to use another one of my favorite items, which is my Stamp and Cut mini die cutting machine. I just really like the being able to have this on my table. I keep it on my craft table. I don't, the other die cutting machine I keep in a separate area. It's on my shelves, which is fine, but this one's really useful. I don't have to get up to reach for it. So let's just pop this through, and I think this color is Strawberry Slush at a glance. So we'll just keep going through with that, and I usually use a little bit more force than that, but I don't want to make the camera wobble, so we'll not do that. What we might do while we have this out actually is cut the flowers out. So there you go. You get that really beautiful banner. That's a great landing spot for anything that you've got, and it's good to put my sentiment on there too. So let's move that aside, and let's get out there we go. Here's the florals, and there's so many you can choose from in here. You could just layer these ones up here. There's those ones, these ones here, but I really like this one. So for this card, I'm going to use this. There we go. So I'm going to, I'll have to cut this, we'll have to cut this down a bit. Yeah, I'll have to cut this down just a sliver. That's the only thing. I think this is about 3.5 inches wide. So you do have to only have quite small dies on here, and this still may be a little bit big. Oh no, let's cut a sliver more off it, because the worst thing is if you've got cardstock that is the same size or a little bit wider, it's going to be really hard to get it through the machine, and we don't want to make it any more difficult than what it already is. We've just gone through Christmas, friends. We've just gone through all the family events, all the work events. We've finished up. We've got through the year. We don't want anything difficult, do we? We just want easy peasy for a week until the new year hits, and then we can hit it running. Well, that's my goal anyway. Have an, oh, there we go. That's quite loud. I want to have a nice time, nice restful time, and then hit 2026 running. Okay, so sometimes you can see the dies don't pop out, so I just get the ends of my snips and I just sort of poke these little holes here, which is what they're designed to do. See these little holes here at the end of the dies? Just poke your snips through and it will release the paper. There we go. Okay, so I've done the die cutting that I've wanted. So I'm going to put these plates away, and I'm trying to keep my table clear. But friends, this is a lifelong battle. I'm not very good at being neat and tidy. Okay, so what I might do next, I think, let's just zoom you in just slightly because we've done that bit and you might be able to see it a bit better. So what I might do is put the sentiment on so I know where all my flowers need to fit. So I'm using Secret C because I think, let's have a look. What do you think, friends? Does it go with the blue? And we've got the pop of pink there. So look at these three colours together. So we've got the blue there. Then we've got the Secret C, which is kind of like a black, but it's a softer black. And then we've got the pink there that I really like. Okay. So I think, yeah, that's it. You can see, that's it. Yes, so I like that combination. And with a card, I don't like to have too many different colour or pattern combinations on there because then it just seems to get very busy. It's a small canvas, a very, very small canvas on a card. And I think if you put too much on, then it loses something. That's me. You can do you, friends, but I don't like too much on my scrapbook pages, on my memory keeping pages. I have quite a lot of patterns and or depending on the layout, I have different patterns and layers and things like that. Now, unfortunately, I have had to have a few use a few sympathy sentiments and sympathy cards lately, so my stock is running low. So I'm just going to put sorry for your loss here. There we go. So let's just, I always like to leave the ink. So I ink up lightly. I don't press down hard, especially with the Stampin' Up ink pads. They are very, very juicy. So I ink up lightly, pop it down, medium pressure, not too hard, and then I just leave it there for a couple of seconds to let the ink go off the block and onto my cardstock. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's start building. You could ink the edges in Secret C, but I don't really want to do that. It's a dark background, and I think if I was to ink the edges in another dark color, it would get a little bit lost. So let's just adhere this banner. Now I want to put it down further. I don't want to put it in the center of the card because I'm going to build a cluster up around here. Now I'm going to start building. Oh no, I'm not. Now we want to fussy cut a few more flowers. So here we have the DSP, and now I know some people hate fussy cutting. Yes, I know, I hear you, friends. I can hear some of you quite loudly saying, no, I don't fussy cut. But for those of you who like a bit of fussy cutting meditation, and that's what I call it, it's meditation to me. It's like crocheting. I don't crochet. But for those of you who like doing this, Stampin' Up! DSP make wonderful embellishments. And I think that if you're fussy cutting cardstock or DSP, designer series paper, friends, if you're fussy cutting that, that's an extra texture or a different kind of image on your card. So you're getting different layers, different textures onto your cardstock, and that's what I like. It adds a point of difference, I guess, onto your cardstock rather than just having stamps. And it's a flatter, I say texture in inverted commas. It's not really texture because it's the same flatness as your image. However, it's a different kind of printed image. So it just adds that little bit of something different onto your card. And like I said, cards are very small canvases, so you don't want to mix too much up. There we go. So I have got some flowers and leaves that I have cut. I'm not sure what I will use. And then I'm going to use the ephemera, the gold ephemera. I think I'm just going to have a look and see what sort of leaves I'll pull off, because I think I've got enough. I've got a couple of florals there, so I don't want any florals, but these leaves are really good. Look at these. And this is a really thick vellum too, friends. It's not a thin vellum, it's quite a thick vellum. It's almost plasticky, if I can say that. So I've got those two things I'm going to pull off, and I'm going to just pull off a couple of little circles. I don't know whether I will use them, but I have them in case I need them. So let's move that across. Now let's build. I want this as my base. Let's move this out of the way. So I want this as my base. So I'm just going to put a few little bits of adhesive because I do want to layer. So I don't want too much adhesive on here because I want to poke stuff in behind it. Now we do have the same kind of, it's tone on tone, which is fine. Whoops, hang on. No, I don't want that there. There we go. Let's have a look at that. There we go. I want it over the card because I want to pop this in the post. So now let's build from there. Let's put like a blue floral there. Yes, we can do that. Oh, hang on. There we go. So let's pop this blue floral there. Yep, I like that. So we're sort of creating a cluster up here. I want a blue one here. Yes, I like that. So that's two blue ones. Now let's put some flowers on. Sorry, not their flowers, leaves. Let's put some leaves. Let's put these gold ones. Where are we going to put the gold one? Up here. Yep, that one. Down here. Yes, perfect. Okay, I like that because that'll bring sort of, we're doing a cluster that way. So I do like that. Let's just put a little bit of adhesive on here. There we go. Oh yeah, I like that. Let's pop that one down here, and then we can add the blue leaves in. So we're just dragging that down so we don't have too much white space there. I would like, yes, here we go. Yeah, I like that. Oh, no, hang on. Not 100%. Oh, yeah, I do like that better. So let's just move the leaf around a little bit, the leaf cluster. I'm just going to pop this over here and do the adhesive on my glass mat rather than on the card. Because what I've actually done is got the adhesive over the leaves, so we didn't want to make a mess on the card. Now let's have a look. Now don't be frightened of turning your card around, friends, and trying to see where it fits. Now can you see, friends, what I've actually done with that? The leaf, one leaf is over the flower cluster and the other ones are underneath, and it just it looks better that way, I like. Now we want something up here. What do we want up here? Oh, now this one's better. There we go. Is it better though? What do I want up here? No, I don't like that. There you go. That's it. That's it. I'm done. Okay, so move our card over, pop our adhesive on. There we go. Move these out of the way. We don't want those anymore. And let's just slip that in there. Okay, so we have got some little circles, I think. Yes. No. Hang on. There we go. That one and that one. Oh yeah, there we go. yes, they will fit. So let's just put adhesive on. If I could be bothered trying to find my glue, I put my glue in there, but I'm lazy. I'm lazy today. I'm going to be lazy until the 5th of January when I have to go back to work. Okay, so I did chop out a little bit more, but I don't think I need those leaves. So let's do that. Now, I want some more gold. I want a little bit of pop of gold here. And so let's pop one there. I want 5. So we'll pop another one down there to drag it down more. I would like one, oh no, up there, because I don't like everything being in a line. Therefore, 5. Nope, don't like that. I want another one here. So that's 6. I have to do another one down here. There we go. That's much better. I'm happier with that. Okay, friends, look at this. This is our card. This is the first card I've made in a little while. I do have to make some more cards. So this is the one I made on camera for you. The first demo one that I made, I used a lighter card stock there. So it's just a slightly different tone. I can't remember the colour. Might be pretty in pink. I don't think it is though. So anyway, those are the 2 cards that I've made using this DSP. So I hope you have enjoyed this little card tutorial, friends. I hope you're going to find some time to get your crafty fun on this holiday season. I hope it's a time of relaxing, renewing and rejuvenating for you. And until next time, friends, happy crafting. Bye.